Hello everyone, it's Open House Thursday on Your View. Welcome to the show. I am Murayo Afolabi Brown. As always, I have the ladies with me. YK in the building. Looking nice and yellow.
Actually, it was Veronica that inspired me yesterday. I was watching the news, and she was wearing this lovely yellow jacket, and I was like, oh, you know, yellow and blue are my favorite colors. I was like, I haven't worn yellow for a long time. Let me look for something
Nima
yellow.
wore yellow, I think on
the other
Tuesday.
day, but it was she was beside me. But seeing Veronica on TV, that just inspired me. I said, let me look for something yellow.
So you
to
change
wear.
your polish also, just to match.
Yes.
Oh, YK, you have time.
Meanwhile, you know, the governor has said that bars can open from tomorrow.
Oh,
okay. So we've done the fumigation because we have that certificate. No, they have given us that, so we can open if we are compliant.
Wow.
Okay. So we spent the last doing the floors, doing everything, fumigating. But it's not the club; it's just the bar and the food.
But at least,
So
our rice will be back. Shrine rice. Shrine rice.
Oh
YK, please, we must do the inauguration rice.
You
must send us inauguration rice tomorrow.
I was so frustrated. I had her cook the soup for me the other day, last week. But let me just even...
You know, tomorrow is Nima's birthday. She's not around. So on Nima's behalf, we should celebrate. We should celebrate and have a party tomorrow. Please, YK, that's shrine rice.
And we have bought we are buying, you know, this, they said we have to use automated hand wash. So we have ordered, actually, the guy that is making them, he used to work at the customs at the airport.
Right.
When he had no work, he went about and invent automated, made in Nigeria. He's doing well.
Yeah, that's good.
You know, I was very impressed.
How about those things that you have to walk through and then have them?
There are all sorts of things.
When you have not worked for over 6 months, 5 months.
That, yes.
Heidi, Mariam.
Those things are 1.5 million.
Come to you.
I'm fine, and I got so many messages. Mariam, please, are you still on the show? We haven't seen you in a week.
What happened to them this week?
And you know, the last week I think I was on like Friday, so it seemed like it's like a whole week since. So I am fine. Just I think 2 days per co-host, really, because of the social distancing. So that's what's.
You haven't been on this week?
No, I haven't been on. So I am.
That's why it looks as if it's been so long.
Today and tomorrow, so I'm back.
I missed you, actually.
But then I was taking when you're driving to work through the Third Mainland Bridge, I say, you know, many times we concentrate on what's not working, right? But I was just looking into the Atlantic Ocean. The sun was rising. The boats were, you know, taking the people to work and back. And it looked so beautiful. And I say, you know, sometimes we concentrate too much on what is going wrong. We don't even stop to just enjoy nature.
Hollywood movies.
It's not Hollywood movies. We should... We should learn to think that way,
I've accepted
honestly.
her for who she is.
We should actually spend time to think that
African
way.
woman.
It's not foreign.
Very optimistic.
Yes.
Everything is right with the world kind of person.
Not everything is right with the world, but some things can be enjoyed, or else it can be overwhelming.
Let's enjoy the birds.
Yeah, enjoy the birds, the sun
sky.
rising, and then seeing those boats. I know that the reason why they're going to...
My in-laws, she says, every time birds make noise in our house, something bad happens. Like those birds, if they come again to make... So while you are enjoying birds, that's our own interpretation.
Anyways, I have to make this lamentation because I have one auntie that sent me this lamentation on behalf of her.
Okay.
She's in Magodo residence. She said that there's no water. They've not had water for 4 whole weeks. In that entire estate, they're having issues. Please, government. She said, Mariel, please help me beg government to give us water in Magodo. So on behalf of this, my auntie, I'm begging you, government, what happened? Why is there no water?
Can I use this, what I experienced this morning with what you're talking about? Maybe if government spent more time on the Third Mainland Bridge, don't know how to put that Atlantic Ocean water to people. If you spend time to enjoy some things, then you will be creative.
I don't make the connection, I'm sorry. But the point is that please bring water to Magodo.
That is not even...
We're sitting on a huge body of water in Lagos State.
That is not Atlantic Ocean.
What is it?
That is a lagoon.
Doesn't it flow into the Atlantic Ocean?
Yeah, but that's not Atlantic Ocean.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
But it's water, Sha.
Okay.
That's the point.
It's water and we can move into homes.
Anyways, we have to go on a break. It's Thursday. We're having fun today, but please, I beg you, I don't know what's going on in Magodo. Kindly provide water for that community. They need water. Let's go on a break. When we come back, we'll go through the front pages of the paper. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Okay, so my auntie has replied me. She said, thanks, Murayo. You're welcome, ma. Let us start with The Nation this morning. Federal government pumps 8.5 billion naira to boost COVID-19 tests. Ex-U.S. Ambassador Carrington dies at 90, Buhari mourns envoy. Unilag VC rejects removal by council. Arotile's suspected killers arraigned. NDIC gets 2 billion naira to pay the depositors of liquidated bank. And Uber taxi fares to go up as Lagos sets new rules. Which story are we taking?
The federal government
Yes.
is giving us, well, COVID, it's pumping, they say
8.5
billion.
Yeah, okay, 8.5 billion into COVID testing and diagnostic testing. And this was said by the Minister for Health, Osage Ehaniwe, during the 11th Federal Cabinet meeting. And he said that 12 items will be bought, and each of these items will be bought in very large quantities, and really it's to make sure that we have at least one sample collecting center per local government, and we have about 774 local governments. He also talked about the cases we have, COVID-19 cases as of the 11th of August. We have 47,290 cases. We have discharged over 33,000 people. We've had 956 deaths, and we have tested over 300, thousand cases. Right. So these monies, this 8.1
test kits, because sample, not 300,000 people. No.
Yes, so the samples that have been tested are over 300,000. And he's saying that also that instead of doing the rapid testing, it's unreliable, and that's why we're going the PCR route.
Let's move on to other story. Arotile's suspected killers have been arraigned. Yeah. Each of them have been asked, they are given a 1 million naira bail, and they pleaded not guilty.
Not guilty. Yeah, so they are arraigned for causing death by dangerous driving.
They charged the driver and the owner of the vehicle.
Both.
What was he in the car?
I don't know.
The driver didn't have a license, so the
owner
is culpable because
he gave the car.
That's such a sad story all over.
All over. Walter Carrington has passed on. Many of us know him, especially in the early 90s. He was early 90s. He was actually very, very prominent in helping to restore democracy in Nigeria, doing the Abacha, Babangida, MK Abdulrazaq.
You just know the name of the street.
Oh, yeah. So, but those of us that knew Walter Carrington at that time, we knew him. So may his soul rest in peace, his family. He died in the arms of his family.
He lived in ripe old age.
Very good age.
And he lived well, eh?
Moving on to Daily Sun. Total strike looms. Pengasyn health workers, aviation unions to down tools. COVID-19, federal government flays non-adherence to protocols at rallies and burials. Police IPOB fight over mass arrests. And Unilag Governing Council sacks VC. Okay, the major headline, who has that story?
I don't.
I didn't read that major headline.
Total strike looms, Pengasyn. I thought. Okay. Okay, let me take the IPOB story instead. So IPOB members were driving on their way to a village, and police arraigned them, and they were stopped because of where they were going to. According to the police, they were going to the shrine to get that reinforcement so they don't get bullet wounds. So they were being arrested for something they were about to do. That was where I got a bit confused. And they also been charged for some shooting that was done 2018. So, but IPOB has responded that please leave our people alone, that there are people dying in Northeast. Go and face those ones. Why would you be arresting people for something where they are going to? How do you know? How can you confirm indeed that they are going to the
This is very interesting.
Go and get African power. Is there anything
wrong? Now that's the point.
Illegal about that?
So they said they're going to the herbalists to get reinforcement so that they won't get bullets.
So is there a law against?
That was what they were being arrested for.
No, is there anything illegal about that?
That's a very interesting topic, but we need to know what the police thinks about.
We can read more about it a bit later. Let's move on to
herbal medicine.
The Punch. APC interim panel battles against time. Party to shift convention. Man bags 25-year imprisonment for raping 11-year-old girl in Ogun. Sanwo-Olu decries Lagos representation in federal government agencies. Send old generation out of power, Obasanjo tells youths. Council removes and replaces Unilag VC, Ogundipe dismisses sacking. Will impeach Obaseki if he flouts laws, Edo Assembly faction boasts. An army probes alleged soldiers' involvement in illegal fishing and trading. Okay, which story are we taking?
The Edo, some law members have met, and they said if Obaseki misbehaves, they're going to impeach him. And then the person that was interviewing them asked him, Shebi, you said you're not going to impeach him. He said, no, we're not, it's not that we're impeaching him, we're just saying if he misbehaves, we are going to impeach him.
They have the majority now anyway, so the opposition has a majority, so obviously they can easily impeach him.
Then the other guy, what's his name? Okiye.
Yes, that's the former Speaker of the House of Assembly.
Answers that they're joking, that where are they meeting? That they are meeting in Eze Yamu's house.
Because they blocked the House of Assembly. Let's move on. I really don't feel like talking about this Edo politics. Can we talk about something else?
In Ogun State, a man has been sentenced to 25 years in prison. He raped an 11-year-old girl. He had gone to her mother's shop to buy something, and he went back when he knew that the mother wasn't there, and he raped the girl. Although he pleaded not guilty, but the court said all the evidence before them showed that he definitely would have committed the crime. And I want to just connect it to the Daily Trust story of a 50-year-old man, 60-year-old man who's been sentenced to death by stoning for raping a 12-year-old girl. He pleaded guilty, and
that's
so
Sharia
he's in
court.
Kano State. That's
Sharia
Sharia
court.
Yes.
But stoning in 2023, what year are we in? 2021? I don't know.
2020.
I don't know.
2023.
I've jumped to election year already. But I mean, stoning, I don't know. I guess I can't really question Sharia courts, but I don't know how you can do stoning this time.
Stoning to death.
It sounds very medieval.
Yeah, but then also is rape, you know, of a
moving
little
on,
girl.
let's go on to Daily Trust. COVID-19 hits 586 local governments. Unilag crisis deepens as council sacks VC. Squeeze out older generation, Obasanjo tells youth. Sanusi proceeds to Oxford University as visiting scholar. Okay, which story taking our former president is speaking?
Yeah, our former president is speaking, and he was saying to the youth, so it was an event to celebrate International Youth Day, and he's saying to the youth, you need to learn how to squeeze out these old cargoes that have refused to leave government. If you don't, and the only way to do that is to participate at political party level and make sure that constitutionally, you put constitutions to make sure that younger people are able to take positions. And he even gave a specific age, all those above 80. So if you know you're 80 and above and you're in government, the youth are coming to squeeze you out.
70.
Maybe 70 is young.
No, he said 50 and below.
Yeah,
he was actually giving a suggestion that they must demand affirmative action and put an age of nobody older than 50.
Yes,
to be at least 50% of younger than 40, I believe.
Younger than 40.
Yes. So 50%, of the government should be young people 40 below. That's what he was recommending. And we don't know how far that will go.
I just want us to remember that 65 is retirement age. When we are doing our elections and our voting,
you know how political offices
is actually retirement age.
Unilag, nobody read about Unilag. He's been sacked, and he has objected his sacking, and obviously he was accused of mismanagement. I think also financial recklessness and a few other things. And
the vice
chancellor of Unilag. He has obviously responded and said that they didn't follow due process, and that what he was being accused of was wrong. So we don't know how that will go, but that's the story pretty much in the papers. Moving on very quickly now to the Nigerian Tribune. Magu cries over fair hearing lawyer rights salami panel. DSS grills Mailafia for 6 hours, releases him on bail. Soldier jailed 55 years for killing WHO staff. Lagos Council dies of COVID-19. FG to deduct money from states guilty of double taxation. Okay, which stories are we taking?
Mailafia, he went into, the DSS invited him, he went with his lawyer.
Right.
He was there for 6 hours. They granted him bail, and he says, what the paper says is that he said, well, he's ready to die for his country, and he talked about the Kaduna killings. But when I watched him on TV, what he actually said was they quoted him out of context. He said the interview was 55 minutes.
Right.
Yeah, and that was
And they just picked that part
and
put it in the... But he's
Anyway.
ready to comply and...
Okay, our last story. Magu, do you have which story?
No, I don't have Magu. So a soldier is being jailed for 55 years for killing a World Health Organization staff. He's the Lance Corporal Ibrahim Babangida, and first of all, he stole this Mr. Bello Abdullahi Aliu's car and also proceeded to murder him, and this was in 2014. So finally, justice, I guess, has been served. 55 years.
So finally, Magu's lawyer has said, alleged that he was not given the paper of allegations against his client, and the list he could have given him was the terms of reference, which he never got, and that they only received it August 8th, which doesn't give them enough time to put together a defense. And so obviously he feels that they're not being given proper due process.
When is the defense starting?
Well, they gave him, I'm not sure exactly when the defense is starting, but I know that he only received the papers August 8th, so they don't have enough time, according to him. It could be in the next couple of days or so. That's all we can take on Front Page Review. When we come back, we'll be having a chat with the First Lady of Kwara State to get an update on our Blue Eye family. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. So she's a wife, mother, diplomat, and the First Lady of Kwara State. She has impacted lives and indigent families and also privileged families in the society. Welcome with us, Her Excellency, Dr. Mrs. Olufolake Abdulrazaq. Good morning, madam. Are you there? Yay. Ooh.
Yes, good morning.
Good to have you on the show.
Good to have you.
So thank you for the intervention for the family. We really appreciated your swift response and how you've been so kind. Tell us what's been done so far. What have you done? We've seen the photo shoots. Was that initiated by you or others?
A lot of people have come on board as well. You know, not just myself. I think the whole of Kwara is very, they're very happy with the story and with how things are turning out for Risikat and her children. Yeah. I know you are probably aware the husband has also come out now. Yes. And he's come to our office and, we've had a conversation with him. Okay. And Risikat herself has said she wants to be reunited with him. Aww. But apart from that,
what a fairy tale ending.
We've had the health intervention.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
They've checked their eyes. Yeah, they've made sure that they have no problems whatsoever. Risikat will just get some glasses and her children sunglasses because, they don't want to expose them. I don't know how much anyone knows about the Wonderberg syndrome. There's the story that all blue-eyed people come from the same ancestor. Yeah. So you find that this comes once in a while everywhere. Apart from that, we were very lucky to get scholarships for the children for early years.
Wow.
So the early year scholarships, yes, would mean that they get to go to school. It's a private school in Ilorin, free. And apart from this, the Education Commissioner will also make sure that genealogy and how some of these things can happen is taught in schools. Because, we had a little bit about some people calling them certain names, not quite sure that they were normal or real. So we want that kind of perception or stigma to go away from society.
Fantastic.
So from time to time, they will visit schools and talk about their story. So education's been done, health has been done, and we're so grateful. A lot of people have been, donating money and things like that to them.
Oh, fantastic.
We're also, Risikat herself is joining my Ajike People Support.
Oh, we didn't get that last part. Risikat is joining what? Sorry, we missed it. We didn't hear what you said, madam. Your Excellency, we can't hear you.
Actually, start.
No, we have to hear that again. We will have to disconnect the call and try to call her back. We didn't, Risikat is joining something, we're not sure what it is.
Said Ajike something help,
But that's interesting.
Yes, imagine.
She's starting skills.
Your Excellency, I'll need you to start over again. The last time we heard you, you're saying Risikat is joining something. That was the last thing we heard.
Center, which is my initiative. Oh my goodness. Yes, she's joining a course.
A course, okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Now we
She's joining
can.
a course.
Yes.
And this course, and this course will take her on in case she wants to do something that can tide her over, as well as whatever else she's doing. And then the Commissioner for Health is also looking into, because she studied something in the past, which has to do with, medication and some, dispensing medicine. Wow. So we're trying to see how versatile she is still in that. And we're trying to get her a job to make sure she does that. Obviously, all this doesn't stop the general public from continuing to assist her and her family and making sure that they help as much as they can. It's important for the whole of Nigeria to be aware of this story, to know that there are people with blue eyes in the country, and it's nothing to be fearful of. It's nothing to be scared of. They're beautiful, and we wish them all the best in everything that they're doing, herself and her children. And I will continue to keep an eye and make sure that things are fantastic, going well forward.
Thank you so much. We're so proud of what you've just done.
Yes, thank you so much. You are, this is our very own Nigerian Cinderella story, and you're the fairy godmother. But,
thank you.
Okay, so many times in the news, I see that you do a lot of this visits. You do like charity work, you're distributing palliatives to people during the lockdown. You're going to different places where, especially with children who have like mental illnesses that they're, suffering from. So is this something you have always done, or is this part of the office that you have now occupied, that, you provide like charity assistance to people? Or is this something that you've always done, as an individual, even before government?
Well, thank you for that. Well, I've always been, charity inclined. My mom, my dad was very open-handed. He gave and gave and gave and, tried to better the lot of people in life. My mom also, and my mom always said myself and my dad are so generous. And that has always been, part of what I do. But now, since becoming First Lady of Kwara State, it's actually helped me to amplify this a little bit more. And that was why I also started the Ajike People Support Center. And both my office and the Ajike People Support Center work really together. And I'm glad you saw that during the lockdown, I distributed palliatives. I went all over the place. And then these the mental home that you're talking about, we did that. We did the school for the less privileged and handicapped. Yeah. We did the place where we had the orphanages and the homes, for displaced children. I did hospitals as well, because, we realized that the frontline workers, they utilize this equipment so quickly, and you have to really make sure that you keep them in stock. And we did that across the state. And apart from that, I also did individuals. Now, the mental home that you particularly mentioned, that was a place I visited in December. And, it's unbelievable. This particular home is being run by a gentleman on his own, assisted by the state government, obviously. And he picks, people off the streets and everything. I saw a young 19-year-old boy there the other day, speaking very good English, well brought up and all that. And I asked him, why are you here? And he said, unfortunately, it's because he was into drugs. And this has also made me very, very passionate about what we do on the Drugs Eradication Committee, of which I'm matron of. Right. So all these things put together has really made it worthwhile.
Well done.
Working tirelessly towards achieving all these goals.
Well done.
Yes.
Yeah. Is there anything you're doing to enlighten the people of Kwara State about the pandemic that
so that's what we do. Yes.
You didn't get that. I was asking if there's anything you're doing to enlighten the
Oh,
people
yes,
of
definitely.
Kwara State?
I've done
Okay.
about the pandemic.
Yes.
Yes. Oh gosh, during the pandemic, we did, and so much. I did a lot of adverts, posters. People can follow my pages on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter, Ajike Center, or the First Lady of Kwara. And you will see there, we put that out, and then we put them out also in newspapers, on radio, in all the social media and the conventional media spaces, and also WhatsApp groups and everything. So we've made sure that people understood what they needed to do during the lockdown to keep engaged. We even spoke about the mental space and how, you know, some people during the lockdown found it really difficult to just be at home. We found issues of, you know, gender-based violence coming up, and so many other things like that. So during the lockdowns, I issued a lot of advisories. I spoke on radio. I issued jingles and so many other things.
Right.
Okay. And there was very good feedback on it, because people, even exercises, we told people the top type of exercises to do.
Right, right.
To make sure that they're not sitting in one place, and
nice.
you know, things like deep vein thrombosis and things like that could occur if you sit too long in a particular place and you're not moving about. So we lectured people, we made them be aware of all these things that can occur if you are just sitting immobile and not doing anything.
Okay, fine.
And we encourage people to engage their families, you know, to be in good you know, in good communication and things with their families at home.
We have to wrap up with you shortly,
social
Your Excellency.
distance, and to make sure that anything they did was in a social distance manner. So all these advertorials and, you know, jingles and everything on radio really well received all over Kwara.
Great. And we have to wrap up, Your Excellency, but I'd like to just find out, how have you been managing with your home personally? With the governors, continuous having guests at home, and your family, the children, how are you managing the entire space during this period? Ooh, I think we lost that. But thank you very much either way. Unfortunately, we lost that call. We'll be speaking with Her Excellency Dr. Oh, she's back? Your Excellency, are you there? I'm told she's back. She's not back. Okay, I think we'll just let it go this time. Okay, so we'll be speaking with Her Excellency Dr. Mrs. Olufolake Abdulrazaq, First Lady of Kwara State. We're going to break. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. Before we go into our next topic, I'm told that Her Excellency is back, Dr. Mrs. Olufolake Abdulrazaq. Madam, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Yes, we lost connection with you the last time, so we just had to wrap up with you finally. Yes. Do you have any last words for us? Any last words concerning...
Yes,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, so yes, it's been very good to chat with you. I've watched you guys on occasion. I think you're doing a fantastic job.
Thank you.
You know, you reach your audience very well and come across very well. So well done on that. And thank you for featuring and breaking the news on Risikat and her daughters. You know, everything, you'll see all what is going on with them and all the other things that we're doing in Kwara.
Thank you so much, madam.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure. All right. Moving on now to other topics. Now, recently, the Lagos Assembly considering the amendment of an anti-cultism law to include punishment for parents of cultists. According to reports, the parents of people found guilty of cultism in Lagos State might be liable for punishment if a bill for a law to provide for the prohibition of unlawful societies and cultism in Lagos and for connected purposes is passed into law. So that's the conversation we wanted to have. Many people are talking out there. We'd like to hear the views of our audience. What are your thoughts on this? Do you think parents should be liable if this bill gets passed? Or do you think the parents have done their part and the child should take full responsibility for their actions? You can call us on 070-80668014. You can also tweet us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag your TVC so we can read your tweets. Okay.
Yeah. You know, when I read this, I was sitting somewhere and I was like, they want to start to punish people who's, you know, and someone that was sitting beside me said, yes, now. Yes, they should be punished. Oh, okay. I said, really? He said, yeah. And another person said, yes, because they were not responsible enough. Ooh. They did not teach their children. But my own argument is, if I'm 21, 21 is the legal age. 18 is even the legal age. Yeah. Okay, 21, you are even supposed to go out, you finish university. How will I be responsible if you decide to be a cult member? Mm. You know, yeah. You are living in your own house, I'm living in my own house, you're living your own life, and then you go and join a cult, and then you come and meet me. You know, it's the same way when the police come and arrest the parents. Yeah.
That's how I see it as well. You know, for me, I was saying that, of course, at first when I heard, I said, this is ridiculous. They cannot be serious. But then when you look at it, we've been talking about cultism at at another level now. So we're talking about children in secondary school joining cult, children learning skills, you know, joining cult. So these are much younger children, I guess, that they are talking about. And so I get that what you're trying to do is encourage more responsible parenting. But I think this is definitely not the way to go about it. There's no how you're going to visit the sin of the son on the father. The person has decided to take a path. What if I have like 3 children? 2 of them are good and 1 turns out bad? What are you going to do? How would you mete out my sentence? Would it be 5 years for the bad child and then I go out and spend 10 years for the good children? Do you understand? So for me, it is actually even quite dangerous. And I agree with you. We're already talking about how the police would arrest relatives or friends of criminals just to make sure that they can get to the criminals. We are having all sorts of conversations about that and hoping that the police stops doing that. When we add this, we just concretize and legalize that sort of behavior. So definitely for me, I think this is ridiculous. We should just drop this.
What was even more interesting for me was it was a very interesting debate in the House. It wasn't just something that was glossed over. I mean, Honorable Bolahon, Yishao, Rotimi Olowo, Honorable Desmond Elliott, they all actually really they objected to many people actually objected to this proposition. But the point is, I can also understand where the sponsor's position is coming from. Okay. Because every issue of cultism always boils back to parenting. What did you do? What did you not do? I get the part of it, they are adults, but there are children who are getting into cultism. There are children who are being served as apprentices for certain people, and they are being drafted into cultism. So it's in that instance that the parents can possibly be liable, because you should have some kind of a third eye, to know when your children are going wrong. So I think that's the rationale, not necessarily for adults getting into cultism. And
so would it be if the parent knew or was sure? Because many times, especially with teenagers, parents struggle to know exactly what they're doing. But if they're saying that if a parent is aware and also part of this syndicate of cultists, the person should be liable.
Let me take this call. We've been holding for a while before I come to you, YK. Hello, are you there? Thanks for calling.
Good morning.
Morning.
Madam Morayo. My name is Paul. I'm calling from Fairstack.
Welcome to the show, sir.
Yeah. Nice topic there. I'm first time anyway.
Welcome to the show.
I I don't think I want to go with the government's position on anti-cultism of parents being liable if their children decide to join cult. Now, I have seen a situation, a case where, we have a godly parent always taking a young guy to church, their child to church from childhood, grew up, went to the university, decided to join the cult, gets back to the house and pretends to still be the same child who was properly brought up by the parent, follows them to church, looks very innocent. But it's a cultist.
It happens.
Okay? When he walked, nobody believed it. No, the parent could not believe it. So in that case, in a situation like this, what do you do? How would you hold the parents liable? So they shouldn't generalize this kind of case. Of course, when maybe you have a younger child, maybe 20 or less than, who still lives with the parent, okay, you can accept that maybe they do not, play their parental rules very well. But once the child has left the parents' home and, is out there in the university, there are so many, many things that happen. There are influences from every corner. Okay,
point taken. But Waike, I'd like us to take this further. Yes, cultism is the topic in point. However, there are parents today being blamed for the atrocities their children are committing. So cultism is one thing, but the question still, let's expand it a bit more. Okay. Should a parent take responsibility for those things her child is doing out there, their children are doing out there?
Well, I will give you, during the lockdown, they were interviewing some parents, a lot of the women who were market sellers everywhere was completely shut down. And some women were saying, won't fool anything. Then, for your sake, they're not giving us anything. Then if our children become thieves, they will say our children became thieves. Now, that kind of person, you are making excuses for your child because you cannot eat does not give you the excuse to injure somebody or steal from somebody, because the person you are probably stealing from is probably in the same position as you. Do you understand? So I couldn't understand that kind of statement. If our
there are instances where parents justify it and they make it look as if the government did not provide, though. Yes, so my children have to do something. But understanding this bill is on cultism. But the truth is, there are parents, even the fact that you allow your child to go and do aristo work, just so that they can bring some funds home. You say, what are your other friends doing? Can't you use what you have to get what we want? You encourage it, and something happens, the child maybe she gets abducted or something, and and she gets murdered. Can we trace it back to the parents? I mean, morally, yes, we know, but can we legalize it? How do we measure it and know that parents can be liable?
I think you have to also look at the age of the child. Now, there are instances where you want to pick up your call. Do you want to pick up a call?
No. Yes, I have a call. Sorry to cut you off. Nicholas, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Thanks for calling. Go ahead, please.
Good morning.
Good morning, Nicholas. You're live. Go ahead, please.
Morning.
Okay. I understand you're discussing the penalty of parents towards if their kids or their children are involved in cultism.
Right.
Their parents are also going to be punished for that.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's listening to the TV.
Continue.
Okay, we have to.
I think it's wrong.
Okay.
Because if any of the parents is caught, or maybe any boy that is caught in any corrupt act, like someone is found embezzling money in the offices, you don't go and say you will be imprison the parents and the children as well.
Yep.
I think whoever is caught in cultism should pay, and not the parents. Because sometimes most of these children we train, when they get to the higher institution, that is where they mix up with the peer.
Right.
And
okay. Thank you very much. That's
yeah. So, let's just make it about maybe the younger children, because I think many of us already agree that once a child goes off to university, you take responsibility for all your actions. But when a child is much younger, a teenager really, I think morally, though, you know, the parent can be liable in some way, but I do not see how you can legalize that. I don't see how you can take a parent like that and lock up, or, you know. So the thing is, we need to encourage proper parenting. And what I think this bill may do is you give parents also an excuse, just like the example you gave. So if I am being prosecuted for my son's bad or my child's bad behavior, then I can say it's because the government did not do their job, and that is why, and before we know it, you know, nothing gets done. What we need to do, really, because I've seen that when we talked about Invictus Obi, the story came out, a lot of people said that, and was quite eye-opening for me, said that, well, this is normal for some of us. Our parents will say to us that, yes, it may be Yahoo is doing. You, what is wrong with your own head? You know, so we have that right now, and I think it's a moral issue, much more than an illegal issue. If we start
prosecuting those parents that say, your friends are doing this.
How would you prove it? Well, the parents will say, I didn't say that. Then how would you? You know, you can't say it. It's just, we have to just appeal to them. We need to appeal.
The children themselves say, it was my mother that pressured me. They actually point allegation fingers at the parents.
It will still be he said, she said.
Mother or father that pressured, they will say, it's because I grew up in poverty.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to be poor like my parents. So I decided to go and...
So imagine if America goes after Hush Puppy's mother, poor woman in Bariga, and say, Madam, come and leave and stay in prison because Hush Puppy has, you know?
Okay, if Hush Puppy was doing what he was doing, and he started to spend this amount of money, and the mother didn't say, oh, my dear son, this money, how are you getting it? She is all right, everything.
Yes, Mommy,
she's responsible?
I'm a computer engineer. Okay. I'm a computer scientist.
Talking about innovation and talking about customizing and domesticating our own problems, we understand and accept that Nigeria, we are morally bankrupt in many ways. So if we institute a moral court, I'm just thinking out the box now. Like, we need a moral court where, yes, we have the legal, the laws that are under the Constitution and all that. But if we create a moral court where we begin to prosecute people like this, it's difficult to prove in some ways. But you know, once there is a benefit of a doubt, or there's a possibility that you actually have some kind of influence on somebody doing something bad.
That is also what, like your traditional leaders and local community leaders, that's what they're supposed to do. But already, as you have rightly said, there's a deficit of, you know, how we think about, how we do things now. So even within the community, among community leaders, you would hear that some community leaders are in some way financing some of these things that are going on. They're part of it. So first of all, I think we just need to keep talking to each other, because the society itself.
I want to go to Morel, what she said about us being morally bankrupt. And I have to agree 100% with her, because about the criminalizing it is another issue, but as a people now, we are actually morally bankrupt. I'm not exempting myself. I'm just saying we seem to have lost the
moral compass.
I'm telling you, we are just... I mean, I'm an Okada rider. I'm a Kekemawa driver. And then I just go off the road. I've stopped all the people from moving at the back because I want to pick my passenger. And then you try and come out. He now comes out.
I get you.
That is
so. It's those little things we need to begin catching people for. I mean, let me take this call from Temitope. She's been holding for a while. Temitope, are you there?
Yeah. Good morning, Mariah.
Morning. Thanks for calling. Go ahead, please.
How are you?
Very good. Go ahead.
Auntie Annie, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Good morning.
My sister from another mother. I love you so much.
Thank you so much.
How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
How are your grandchild?
They are fine, thank you.
Oh, my Lord.
Good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
First time caller.
Welcome to the show.
Ma, talking about giving the parent punishment, ma.
Yes.
There are some children that they trained, but they refuse to go to abide to how the mother or the father treats them. àwọn ọmọ kan wà tó bí tó kọ́ tí wọ́n gbọ́.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni, bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
But ma, this officer that we are talking about, go to Kolawole, in Papa Shafa. He has those boys also working for them. I need you very. So ma, let's stand on it. If they cause any money, they should not involve the parent. The person, he or she, should face the consequences. He or she should face the consequences. They should leave the parents aside. Though some parents are bad eggs, that they support their children. In my area, I have a lot of Yahoo guys, and their parents are supporting them through one thing or the other. Going to Abalis to support them.
Do you feel that if we begin to prosecute parents, it might serve as a deterrent for many of these people? Because you know that my mother might be arrested for this thing I'm doing. It might actually stop you or dissuade you from doing so. You don't think so?
I know, and I support partially. But they should do the investigation thoroughly.
Yeah. Yes.
Thoroughly.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Emitokwe.
I think okay.
Yeah. Look, I know this. There's this woman. Her son got caught, and then she approached somebody close to me to say, they've caught her son. He was just driving on the road, and they caught her son, and EFCC have arrested him. So that person started to try to ask people, why are you just locking up this boy because an EFCC have arrested him? It turns out that the boy is actually a Yahoo boy. He went to jail. He spent 6 months.
He didn't know.
And the person that was trying to help them did not know.
Did the mother know?
The mother knew. Do you understand? The mother knew. But she was ready to make this person that I know responsible for what, you know, so that one would have gone...
Like a guarantor for him.
That one would have gone fighting. And so, you see that kind of woman?
Shouldn't be arrested. See,
that's the thing. She's not arrested. But that kind of woman, you need to send her, you know,
psychoanalyst.
Listen, you have to have the place where you put them.
Let's begin to arrest these people.
Re-strategize their brain, reset.
Yes.
They need resetting their brains. Because a lot of us in Nigeria, our brains need reset.
As I said, see, I agree. I agree that this is not normal, what we're proposing here. Okay. But sometimes you need drastic measures to get certain things done. Let me take this call. Yinka, are you there?
I'm here, yeah.
Thanks for calling. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, good morning.
Morning.
Yeah, I'm a first-time caller.
Welcome to the show.
I've tried severally, many days, and I didn't get through.
Many years. Congratulations.
On that topic of parents being,
liable.
you know, called to book when they caught their children, they found their children. They found their children, you know, involved in cultism. Right. I think it's a step in the right direction. Okay. Because over the time, I can tell you from, studies here and there that the way children behave these days, what they turn out to be is the failure of the parents. Okay? Right. So I like it when Morayo said we should widen it a bit, you know, so that we can see it clearly. Even the way the children get to school in the first places, they have helped them to do GC, they have helped them, they saw their parents bribing here and there and all sorts of things. And you know, if you look at it from even another angle, where a lady, you know, a grown-up, you know, has a problem in her marriage, you see her parents saying, oh, you know, despite the fact that the person is already an adult. Right. You know. Okay.
So going back again to this issue of being of making it be like a deterrent, because if a child knows that both of you are poor, you and your mother, maybe your father is late, and your mother is there struggling to get things done, and you know how hard she works every single day to put food on the table, and then you get drafted into this cultism group to go and do this pickpocket here, do that, and you know that this thing you are doing, the day you are caught, it's not just you that is going to. This, your mother, is going to go with you, and both of you are going to be in this jail together. Okay. The thought of that in itself might actually make you rethink
So Mariah,
joining that group.
You're assuming a lot of things when you say that.
Yes.
So you're assuming that this is a child that has conscience. This is a child that actually cares. There are many children that just feel that, you know what, I don't even want to be known to be part of this family. I'm getting out of here. And some people have been known that when they do better, they just never even want to be part of. So that is one type of child.
Right.
And may even think, well, serves them right anyway. Who told you to bring me into this poor, situation? So because there will be so many assumptions that will be that will be making, it will be hard to criminalize this. The only thing I think is just to keep appealing to people. I think churches try to do that, and maybe mosque, when you go for your church services, they try to teach you about proper parenting. But I just don't know why. I think as a society, we need to also learn to maybe when we the word is when we recognize children who are doing well, we should recognize parents who brought them up, who brought these children that are doing well up. Maybe then it will appeal to parents who are not doing well to do better.
Okay, let me go on a quick break.
Because you said something that I want to.
Don't forget.
When you go, I won't forget.
We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. So we're still talking about the bill the Attorney General of Lagos State had sent to the House to pass concerning making parents liable for their children's cultism behaviors.
Yes. So I just want to, because Miriam mentioned churches. Are you going to make the pastors liable too? Let me tell you why. A lot of pastors allow the rich people, no matter how they got their money, to come to the front of in fact, the rich person will see
Yahoo boy, sir.
the Yahoo boy will see the pastor before the house boy or the house girl. Or so, while they are at it, making parents liable, they should make pastors too.
Mike, that's a narrative. That's an erroneous narrative that is out there. You see, there was a time in the past, and I'm not speaking for all churches, but there's a time where those Yahoo or those boys are the ones in front. It doesn't necessarily happen in all churches. In my church, it doesn't happen.
I didn't say it happens in all churches. I am not making...
No, because that narrative is continuous. People always say that only the rich people stay in front. I don't think that's true.
That I used to go to.
That's like 20 years ago.
All the poor people were at the back.
That was then. Maybe then. But now it's not that happens. We have to change that narrative, please. It doesn't happen all the time.
Okay, those ones 20 years ago.
Okay. So the point
is
that
we're allowing the rich people who are getting their money through legal means.
Okay, we should put them.
Are you going to
arrest them also?
Arrest them too?
Let's take a few tweets on this.
Because you're not asking them how they got their money.
Right.
And then there is corruption. When you talk about corruption,
exactly,
you're not asking them how they got their money.
Yeah.
Right.
Whether it's NDDC or CCCP, all the.
Let me take this call.
All those people go.
Good morning, are you there? Let's take a few tweets.
Them and their parents.
Let me take this tweet. Good morning, are you there from Ilukweju? Hello? I think we lost the call.
So Ogunlano Adekunle says, I'm in support of this only if they can jail politicians with their wife and kids when they steal government money. It has to start from the top. Ogumola Emmanuel says, is there a law to punish incompetent... Well, everybody's going for the government. Is there a law to punish incompetent governments? The thugs these politicians use during elections, were they picked from the church? Are the politicians held responsible for their supporters' actions? Who is punishing the cabals holding Nigeria to economic ransom? Eniola Emmanuel says, some parents legit send their kids to school with the hope of better future. Due to various circumstances, these people come out as cultists, and even their poor parents at home have no single idea, and you are looking to punish them for that.
Let me take this call from Reverend Dominic. Reverend Dominic, good morning. Are you there?
Good morning. Yeah, I'm here.
Thanks for calling. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, good morning to my friend. You're in there.
Yeah, so long time. Reverend, I'm so happy to hear from you today.
Morayo, could you allow me to comment on your first topic?
Go ahead.
That has golden eyes or blue eyes.
It's your view. Let it count. Please go ahead.
Please, okay. Morayo, you're a very good, wonderful journalist. And you know that stories have two sides. Please, could you get to this young man? Because I've heard that man comment on this issue. He said he did not drop...
Hello?
Oh, please call him. Are you there? Oh, please help us call him back. Reverend
Please call
Dominic.
him back.
Would really, really like to hear what he has to say. I'm so sorry. Okay, let's take more tweets, YK.
Yes. So can I read that one I read to you in the break?
Yes.
They say they are only mad. Let them consider death penalty for corruption and include their families and parents in the death clause too. Then we can listen to the bill. Told me every responsible parent gives their children the proper care and training required. It's just that the child that decides not to accept such training. No parent should be blamed for the child's misdeeds. That's the child that should face it all. Then Hash says, then the teachers too should be held responsible. You see, that's why I said
pastors too.
Then Gbogbo,
okay, sorry, go on.
Gbogbo Ope says, what if they don't have parents? Before punishing parents, let's ensure that we need the bud of poor parenting by orientating and educating these parents so that they do not raise cultists in the society.
See, this bill in particular was actually more about students. It wasn't so much about the older cultists. And I think the bill was having them, I think, either expel or suspend these people's, any child that has been found to be a cult member, and then extending that to the parents. I mean, for me, I don't know. I think I see some kind of reasoning in this, because for your child to be a cult member, you as a parent, what are you looking? Yeah, there's some cases where the kids do it behind your back, you don't know. But sometimes you have to hold some kind of responsibility on this.
Okay.
There has to be somewhere that the parents should feel responsible.
Your child is sexually active at 14.
Yes.
And you are not aware.
Okay.
And not because you are not, but the child has done a good job of hiding it from you.
Okay.
You now discover when the child is 20 that the child has been sexually active. Are you going to blame the parents?
And for me, I think you just need to be
children,
careful.
listen, children can actually hide things from their parents.
Yeah.
That's true.
They can actually, we have all been children before now.
And for me, is that we just need to be careful. You know, once something goes to through the Nigerian courts and through our justice system, we know how it's not as if it's person specific. Do you understand? There's just like a blanket judgment usually. So you are not looking at that particular child's parent and situation. Is this a child from parenting, poor parenting, or is this a child that just decided to go wrong? The courts will just, they'll come and probably just look through the...
Give us some credit.
It's just that we have seen so many cases how that has happened.
Many
people are just thrown in.
Your people, YK's people. Alagbole in the building.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Good morning, Morayo.
Morning.
Good morning, Auntie Yeni.
Good morning.
And I'm a first-time caller.
Welcome
Glad
to
be
the
on the show. Talking about parents being blamed for their children's misdeed. I think, like Auntie Yeni said earlier, there's a huge moral decadence in the society these days. And you discover that it comes from parenting. In our own days, despite the fact that you are at school, there are certain things you will not do because your parents had really trained you to a level whereby, despite the fact that they are not there, you won't want to do it because good name, as they say, is better than silver and gold.
Right.
But what happens these days are some parents would they even tell some of their children, whatever your friends are doing to make it, you should also do. Why? Because they want to live large. I grew up in a polygamous family. My own mother would, in fact, when you do something silly, you better don't sleep with your eyes closed because you know that no matter how late in the night, she'll come and deal with you. But I have a stepmom that pampers her children to the extent that she even tells them, I have a stepsister that sleeps out late, all in the name of trying to make money, and the mother does not mind waiting. All the mother is interested in is, how much did you bring when you come home? The son, no matter how, despite the fact that the boy was just a young boy doing nothing, the mother would clap for him when he brings money home. The question is, where did he get the money?
Exactly.
And to my mother, they see my mother as too harsh, too difficult. But lo and behold, she trained us to the extent that wherever we go, we are careful of what we do out there because we know the home we came from. Now, I believe, though what the government is saying might be right, but the only problem I have with that is our own system, the executive, the police, they do more than they're supposed to do, and, you know, they take laws into their hands and they do what is not even meant to be done under the context of the law that had been passed. So I think, to a large extent, parents of such children should also be brought to book. Because no matter how bad that child has been at school, even if the child comes home to pretend to be a good child, if you are close enough to your child, you will detect there is something wrong. No matter how perfect the child might pretend to be, you will detect that there is something being hidden, that the child is not being truthful about his own character or whatsoever. So in a way, I would support the government.
Okay.
But
so obviously, that's another reasoning. Because the truth is that, as I said, these things, what we're talking about here is not the normal thing. It's not normal, but sometimes you need to just make some certain decisions. So there are many cases where you can actually investigate. You can dig further and realize that the parent is actually can be culpable in certain cases, and some cases maybe not. So in that case where you have clear evidence,
I had a friend.
Maybe you should prosecute the parents.
She was in school and she got pregnant, and she hid that pregnancy till the husband came to collect her hand in marriage. By this time, she was 7 months. And he came with his family to say, I want to marry my wife there. And he said, no, she's too young. She says, but she's pregnant. She was 7 months.
Jesus Christ.
The mother almost ran mad.
In my presence.
So the child did a good job. Maybe, yes, the mother did not pay enough attention. Because I can't imagine my child being 7 months pregnant and I will not notice. But if you want to hide something, if somebody wants to steal from you, if I want to steal from you, you are not going to be watching me.
So you're saying that the children can actually outsmart their parents such that, and then the women...
In some cases, I'm not saying in all cases. In some cases, like when the parents will just say, just bring money at home. I don't care what you do, shall bring money. Those parents are culpable. That's why Marian is saying you have to do that investigative.
You know how it turns out.
Interesting. Let's take a few more tweets. Whilst we're taking a few tweets, I would like to take this call from Kunle. Kunle, are you there? From Ojota.
Good morning. I'm calling from Olufolake.
Yes, go ahead, Kunle.
The issue of this cause of the thing, if you go into the street of Lagos, you will blame so many parents for what their children are doing. For example, if you come to this about Olufolake now, for the past 2-3 months, we have not been resting because of cough. Even to the extent that federal government and coffee is 10 o'clock, right? But our own coffee here, it starts from 7:30 because when you come here 7:30, you won't see anybody. You won't see anybody. All the shops, everybody must close by 7:30, 8 o'clock. What I want to speak now is that even the ballet of our area here, he now called the meeting and said, okay, Olufolake is a small village, and you are the parent. Your children are doing so things. You cannot report or stuff like that. So something now said, even when they report somebody's children to the police, from this our Olufolake here, the police will tell the parents or the child. Now the matter will now bounce on you as go and report. So I support the government. If the government can do a thorough investigation about speaking parents, I think it's a very nice idea. Thank you.
Fantastic. Okay. Any other tweets?
Yes, I was going to read this one from Fatai Feti Fashion World. What kind of reason is this? Please don't add more problems to what those parents are facing. Most of them did not have the knowledge that the children are involved in such acts. And those that are aware can't be proud of it. Never.
Ade Wonola Alashe says, it is wrong to punish parents for the sins of the children. Don't forget that many of these parents are already frustrated with these cultists. Punish them is akin to what YK's dad called double wahala for daddy body.
Bilikis Mafe Fagbemi says, it's not logical to do that, except it has been established that the parents are culpable for initiating or indulging the child after a thorough investigation. the one who did the crime do the time. Otherwise, some children from broken homes live with guardians who don't care. Timileyin Akorede says, Sis Jenny, even Nigeria as a whole needs resetting. Our government needs resetting as well. That's why I said Nigeria as a whole needs resetting.
Yeah. And even, you see, once you persecute a child or anybody who has been arrested for cultism, the fact that that child is persecuted in itself is enough sentence for the parents.
Exactly, for a right-thinking parent.
So the fact that your child is in jail already, that one, you've already had the parents say. So obviously, so it's almost the same thing, really.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we have to wrap up now, but...
we are finished.
Yeah, done. The show is almost over, YK. You have more tweets? I can accommodate a couple more tweets.
Okay, Fola says, the cult groups want students whose parents are highly influential enough to speedily secure bail for them in the case of the group running into any problem. So if these children are caught, will the law be bold enough to get their parents arrested?
That's another one. Parents of the politicians.
Deja vu said, did I just hear that Lagos State House of Assembly wants to deliberate on a bill to prosecute parents of indicted cultists? With all the things that need to be done in Lagos, what is wrong with these politicians, Seth?
Because your fair agenda.
What happened was that the Attorney General sent the bill to the House. So I think the Speaker has said they should spend the next 3 weeks deliberating upon it and see it, but it's not being passed. They're just having a conversation on it. So we just thought to share our own views on it. That's what this show is about today. We have to wrap up, but I must. I just got a message for those of you in Magodo that sent me a message. So I got a message from the Commissioner for Environment and Water Resources, and he said that Morayo, the Ikeja disco transformer that served Adinyon Water Works blew up, and they have been fixing another one for the past 2 days. Hopefully, Magodo should have water between today and tomorrow. So at least your message got across.
Response.
And hopefully you have water between today and tomorrow. Have a fabulous day, guys. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.
Bye.
That's how they do.